This week I visited 5 locations, and I have to say, this was one of those weeks where nature just kept surprising me. From nesting nuthatches and spring wildflowers making their first appearance, to a chipmunk sounding the alarm, and a bald eagle doing something I was not expecting. Stay with me, because the best moment is coming at the very end. My first stop was Noel Dowart Park, and I want to say something right from the start. This week was not just about the birds. That's an eastern chipmunk, and it's not happy about something. That staccato call is an alarm signal. Chipmunks use it to warn others when a predator is nearby. I recorded this from a safe distance, so I wasn't threatening the chipmunk. I also spotted an eastern cottontail, my first of the season at this location, and an eastern gray squirrel. And some white-tailed deer were moving through the area. The mammals were putting on just as much a show as the birds were. Speaking of which, the white-breasted nuthatches were busy at their nesting cavity. This couple has been at it for a few weeks now, and watching their interactions up close is just wonderful. Be sure to check out my video about the amazing trick the female nuthatch uses to protect her nest. I'll have a link at the end of this video. Nearby, a northern cardinal and white-throated sparrow were working the ground together, and a chipping sparrow and an eastern Phoebe rounded out a really full morning. Next, I visited Climbers Run Nature Preserve, and this is one I've been watching for. The yellow trout lily is finally blooming. These delicate wildflowers only open in direct sunlight, which makes finding them in good light a real treat. A tufted titmouse was calling out from the understory, a northern cardinal added some color in the trees, and the creek was running beautifully over the rocks. One of those sounds that just quiets everything else down. Then on to Safe Harbor Dam, and the Rookery is in full swing. The Great Blue Herons are on their nests, the Double-crested Cormorants are claiming their spots, and out on the Conestoga River, a group of common Mergansers was gliding along looking perfectly at ease. A belted kingfisher held a perch over the water. Always a good find. The mallards put on quite a show this visit. I caught them in the middle of a mating ritual, which I'll let the footage speak for. The tree swallows were dipping low over the river, a sure sign that spring insects are on the move. Kelly's Run Wildlife Preserve was a treat for the ears. A brown thrasher was singing from high in the tree canopy. And if you've been following my recent video on mimic birds, you know just how impressive a thrasher's repertoire really is. I'll link that one at the end. A yellow-bellied sapsucker was working its way up a tree. A tufted titmouse was enjoying a snack on a branch. And a pair of American goldfinch were feeding together on wildflower seeds. And then I stopped at Greater Lancaster Heritage Pathway. There were more mimics here. Northern mockingbirds and another brown thrasher, both in full voice. I also spotted my first rough-winged swallows of the season, perched on a wire over the trail. And then this happened. In the distance, a bald eagle carrying nesting material in its talons was flying overhead, and 2 American crows were in full pursuit. The crows weren't backing down at first. The eagle just continued flying. It's one of those moments you don't plan for. You just have to be there. What a week across 5 locations. If you spotted any of these species near you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. On Thursday, I'll be bringing you another wildlife video. I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching.